FIRE. Have you heard of this term? This movement, financial independence, retire early. Well, today we're talking about just that. What's going on, guys? It's Marcus here with Discover Ignite, where we discover possibilities and ignite change. And today, yes, we are talking about FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Now, this is something I've actually heard about, and maybe you have as well, previously before, and it wasn't something I was really interested in, right? I've always wanted to retire early. Who doesn't want to retire early, right? And after reading that last book that I had, I did do a book review on it, and it talked about, this woman and her husband's journey to essentially joining this FIRE movement to retire early, and exactly what she did. And after reading that book, it kind of really piqued my interest on, well, okay, how do you do this FIRE, right? And so knowing me, I just started doing a bunch of research on FIRE. I picked up another book on FIRE, which I'm going to be doing another book review on because it is a phenomenal book. It gives some great insight, and it's leading me to start looking at all these other blogs and YouTube videos about FIRE and what exactly it is. And it's about essentially almost living frugal, but not to a point to where you're uncomfortable, right? It's not just saving money and essentially building wealth to be able to retire early, right? Because that's the ultimate premise of it, but it's more than just that. It's to realize that there's more to life than to money and everything, and to understand that the best things in life don't actually cost you any money. I know what you're saying. Yeah, but Marcus, how are you supposed to enjoy life, living frugally? But if you've ever had any kind of amount of money in your life, you realize that it doesn't provide any kind of happiness. It doesn't provide those things that you think it actually might, because that shiny object syndrome, well, it will wear off. And then what do? You go buy something else. You're constantly going in this rat race, essentially, to buy new things to essentially make yourself feel better. When in fact, if you use that money to pay for experiences, those are what count. And so it's not just about, becoming financially independent and being essentially free from the rat race and being able to go do your own thing and live frugally, but it's about enjoying those experiences and allowing yourself to put money towards those particular things. I know what you're thinking. And that is, well, if I want to live frugally, how am I supposed to enjoy life, right? If I'm supposed to essentially live my life like there is no tomorrow, I want to enjoy the good things, right? The best things in life. And it goes back to that whole thing, well, you realize that the best things in life are actually those things that are free, right? It's those relationships, it's those going out and experiencing something with somebody. And it's something that I've really come back towards, especially being around my kids, right? When you see this, right, you find with your kids that you enjoy the experiences more. It's more than just, gifts, or it's more than just, going out and buying that nice car, doing all these other things, because you realize that ultimately you come to a point in your life where you look back at that stuff. When you look back on your life, what did you enjoy about your life? You're not going to remember that new car. Yeah, that might be a great memory, but the best memories, the best experiences are those times when you had some kind of experience with somebody that you care about, right, in your life. And that's ultimately what FIRE is about, is to not just live by your own means and be essentially free from everything, but to find those things that really matter in life. So it's a combination of things. And I think a lot of times people may think that, well, I don't want to live frugally, but you can't think about it just that way, right? So if you put yourself in that actual frugal position, you realize that you start actually being more grateful for those things that you do have, those things that you have accomplished, and realize that, the best things in life come with experience. The best things in life are free. You just have to find them. And coming at it with a frugal mindset, you realize that you start becoming more creative, and you start entertaining yourself, and you realize that you're a lot happier person when you do this. And I myself, I like putting that perspective on things, because it allows me to think outside of the box, right? And to think about things in a new perspective, in a way that I don't have to use money, right? Because a lot of times we just want to pay for something to entertain us, when in fact, if we just used our mind a little bit and was a little more creative, right, you realize that life is more than chasing after the next biggest shiny thing. So is FIRE something that you're actually interested in? Being financially independent, retire early, it sounds great. It is a lot of work. But if you did it, right, what would you actually benefit from? Because I've noticed that, you know, taking this approach, you start looking at things different, you start being more creative, and you realize that, man, you know what? If I got rid of that expensive car bill, you know, right? If that, you're paying $400, $500, $600 for a car payment or a lease, where could that go, right? If you just bought outright like a $5,000 car that got you from point A to point B, what would that $400 or $500 do for you in your life? And that's the way to approach it. And then look at your housing. Look at those things that, you know, you can really do without, right? Or does it really matter to have, you know, a really shiny car that goes really fast? How often do you really drive it fast, right? It comes down to the much of these little things, and really take things in perspective. And yeah, it might be nice to tell somebody else, but how much is that really benefiting you aside from telling somebody, right? Aside from giving you, you know, essentially the rights to tell people about what you are accomplishing in life, right? But honestly, FIRE, I believe, is where it's at for me. So ultimately, what do you think about FIRE? I want you to leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on FIRE. And if it's something you would actually consider, or if you guys want me to do more videos on this. So if you do enjoy this video, remember to hit the like button on the way out. Until next time, I will see you guys later.